Hey guys, long time no see. I'm back with a video that is just a little bit all over the place, and I just wanted to film something. I wanted to spend the afternoon kind of fiddling around with things, and one of the things that I wanted to share with you is my 2025 planner. It's more or less set up, but what I ended up going with is a regular blue fabric cover. And then I was actually really struggling to pick this year, so this is the one that I went with. It's got a textured fabric-like cover. It's semi-firm, semi-hard cover. It comes with a pocket, as you probably know. And then what I opted to do to kind of add a little more pizzazz is I went with a clear cover by an artist that I forgot the name of. So this is going to be my planner for next year, and what I haven't done yet is I have not tested the paper. So as we all know, Hobonichi is now using the new, I believe, Sanzen paper, if I'm remembering it correctly, and I've heard different experiences across different batches of paper. From what I understand, what's happened is the original Tomoe River paper raw material, so the old trees were all cut down, so the quality of the paper differs because the raw material is different. So I'm not entirely sure where that information comes from, but it sounds quite plausible, and in that case it makes sense that it's just not possible to deliver the same level of quality, right? So that said, I want to see how some of my most used pens perform on the new paper, compare it with the old one, and perhaps add a little like Leuchtturm paper to it, or maybe the cafe notes, which I'm not entirely sure if there's a difference between the paper in there and the old Hobonichi paper. So let's just start by doing that. I'll open, this is the new Hobonichi paper, this is the old one, and I'm just going to kind of mimic some of my old setups. So something like this perhaps, where I can use several of the tools that I often use. So let's start by dividing the paper with, well, I actually really most want to see how my Kawecos perform on this new paper. I've heard that sometimes the line is a little bit thicker. I've heard some people are experiencing feathering. So let's just see how the F-nib in a Kaweco Supra, extra fine actually, performs. So let's, well, so far so good. Let's see. What if we did a little bit of a zoom in? I'm not entirely sure that you can see much of a difference. I might be able to. It is a little bit thinner on the old one, but I'm not really noticing it that much. I don't think I would be horribly aware of that if I wasn't looking for it. Yeah, I can definitely see some difference when in the shapes, you can maybe see that the line is indeed a little bit thicker. Now let's see. I'm honestly relieved because I was expecting a bigger difference. So this is completely fine with me. So far, I'm actually I'm relieved by how it's performing. Now all of this was written, this text here, all of it was written with this Kaweco Sport in a fine nib. So let's try to do a few more of the squares, and then just gonna write a little bit. Yeah, again, if I were, of course, those are different inks now. The green one and the blue one. This one is probably Alt Goldgrün, and this is just a standard, I think a Pilot, or maybe a Midori. It could be a Midori, cartridge blue. So yeah, maybe it's not as comparable as these two, where you can actually kind of see how the same ink is on the boat, but yeah, you might say that there's a little bit of a difference in thickness. So let's kind of check that with a writing sample. I actually can feel the difference while in the paper. Like there is a difference in the texture between the two. And I could actually feel that the moment that that it arrived. So definitely the kind of the feel of the paper is different, but I think performance-wise it's pretty comparable so far. I'm not seeing. And then we turn to the other side, don't we? So when we turn to the other side, I can see more bleed through than I'm used to. So this is, I want to say it's this one. So that would be, I got this lovely little ink holder from Shauna when I was in London with my sister. We went to see Hadestown. It was amazing. Don Quixote by Heliantus. I'm pretty sure that's what's in here. So as you can see, when I did a writing sample here, there is no bleed through. On the other side, there is no feathering, no bleed through. Now I can't see any feathering on the new Hobonichi paper for myself. I don't think there's much. But yeah, the bleed through is present, not in the cartridge one, but in the Heliantus. That's in my extra fine. So that's definitely going to be needing some adjustment. Let's see how my Twsby that I most often pair with Leuchtturm, how that performs. And this one has my trusty old oh yeah, this is much thicker. I feel like this one is thicker noticeably. I was gonna say the name of the ink. It's Sioro. It's another Pilot. So this one I think I can see behaving a little bit different. Now I understand that this is not completely interesting to you, but I really wanted to do this to check, and I kind of felt like also filming it. Let's see, let's just do a little writing sample. I'm just trying to make it go faster and not look pretty. So I think you can see a noticeable difference between in the thickness of the line. I don't really use this pen so much here, and I don't see that much bleed through on the other side. It's not as much as it is with the Heliantus one, so that's better. But yes, it's definitely laying on, like the line is thicker. It's definitely visible, the difference. I'm not sure I mind it. I think so far the only thing I mind is the bleed through, so I'll just have to make sure I'm cognizant of the... Why do I keep closing it? It must be annoying you. I must be cognizant of the inks I use. And then I will use one of my most often used Mildliners. I want to test how that performs because in my planning I usually use those. So let's just see what a page design would look like if I were to use... I keep forgetting to make sure, because I'm zoomed in, so I keep forgetting to make sure that I'm in... that you can see me. So the line is actually nice, and I mean, it's definitely behaving differently as I was expecting, but except for the bleed through, I'm actually kind of... I think it's gonna be fine. I think I'm going to be using it. I was already a little bit... My main reason for doing this is because I was already a little bit on the fence on whether or not I want to purchase a Hobonichi this year, because the covers were not speaking to me as much as the Tomitaro Makino one was. This is my all-time favorite. So this is kind of a combination that I settled on that I'm content with. So given that I think I am going to be content with this paper as well, if there's just not that much bleed through. So I'm gonna do a few more tests, and before I do it with inks, I just want to make sure that I also test the watercolor. I rarely do it, but I do sometimes. Watercolor in my Hobonichi. So, how are you doing? How is your day going? What's new since the last time we spoke? This is very watery. Maybe I could have started with a more forgiving consistency. The summer just kind of flew by. I can't even believe we're already in, yeah, mid-October. And I'm actually not unhappy with how this is behaving. I don't do a lot of it. I don't need it to be perfect. I'm just feeling like the pulling is not too different, and it's not spilling all over the paper. So given how very rarely I use the watercolors, I think I'm gonna be fine with this. Yeah. Let me just find a blotting paper or something to put here so we can move on with the testing. I hope this is not horribly boring to you, and I am very interested to hear what your experiences are. If you ordered Hobonichi this year, if you want to comment on how you are thinking about it. I understand there's a lot of disappointment and frustration. I also understand that people are a little bit tired of I don't know how to say it, the tension, I guess, because from until now, up until very recently, the only thing I've heard is that the paper is going to be a little bit different because the company was sold. There was something with the old machines no longer being used, and I really didn't know it was about the raw material, and that honestly makes sense to me. Ooh. I love this color. This is beautiful. It's obviously different. Yeah, this is Don Quixote. So it's obviously different than it is in the old one, but I mean, that's not unexpected. And I still really much enjoyed I enjoyed the experience of this paper. I might not buy it again the year, you know, after 2025, which is 2026. So I might not stick to Hobonichi if another planner comes along that is not necessarily in the same price range. So if I can save a bit of money, I would now, because the experience is not so as enticing to me. I'm also going to try to swatch this signature Robert Oster avocado. I'm kind of been trying not to use it and not to show it as much because, well, it's Robert Oster and I'm wanting to wean off of him, but also I want to use up this this bottle, so I've been cracking it open a little bit more often now. And I actually really like the way that avocado shows up on this paper more. I don't know what I've done with it. I mean, it's obviously going to be a bit different when it dries, but I can't say that I'm not happy with this paper so far. I'm not happy with the bleed through, and I should check for the bleed through here too, shouldn't I? Let's see before I make any. Yeah, no, actually, I think I've been lucky. I don't, if there was a particularly bad batch, as I've heard that there was, I don't think, whew, I did a little boo-boo. I don't think I was among the people that got it. So you see, when I did too wet of a swatch on this paper, it had a little bit of a bleed through as well. So this one is, I think, pretty comparable when it comes to ink swatches. So to be honest, I'm really happy with this. I'm happy with my setup. I'm going to be using it. There's no need to think of anything else. And I'm actually kind of quite happy with it. I'm also currently considering what I'm going to be carrying with me when I move again, so I might talk about that a little bit in the next video, but this one is, I've been rambling for long enough, and I feel like most of you, or if not all of you, are going to be really, really bored. So I'm just gonna end the video right here, and thank you if you managed to stick with me and watch the video, and I wish you a nice rest of the day. Enjoy. Bye.